good day din. I'm Rodeline J. Manera, your student nurse from Level 3, Section 2, and today I will be having a video recitation. And prior to explain everything that I've learned during the discussion session is to blindfold myself first po. Okay, so ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon is what we call atherosclerosis. So when we say atherosclerosis, inflammatory response siya which involve with the development of atherosclerosis which is nag-start siya sa pagkakaroon ng injury sa may vascular endothelium and nag-progress over many years. So the injury may be initiated dahil sa mga risk factor like for example, smoking, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and other factors. So, yung pagkakaroon ng endothelial changes is magsa-stop yung pag-produce ng mga normal thrombotic and vasodilating agents. So, kapag nagkaroon ng presence ng inflammation, ma-attract na yung mga inflammatory cells natin such as the macrophages. So, yung macrophages na yan is nai-ingest niya yung lipids na nagiging foamy cells which is nagtatransport siya into the lipids with the arterial wall. And some of the lipid is nakadeposit siya sa may arterial wall. And then yung foamy fatty acids na yun is yun yung magiging result ng pagkakaroon ng mga lipids na parang na buo dun sa may arterial wall. So, dahil doon na-activate natin yung macrophages which is nagre-release siya ng mga biochemical substances para magkaroon ng further damage sa endothelium which is by contributing to the oxidation of the LDL or yung tinatawag nating low density lipoprotein. So, the oxidized LDL is toxic sa endothelium cells and pwedeng mag-add fuel sa progression and sa atherosclerosis process. So, following the transport into the arterial wall, yung smooth muscles is nagpo-proliferate and nagpo-form siya ng fibrous cap over the core of the lipid which is nagkakaroon ng inflammatory infiltration which is yun yung pagkakaroon ng mga deposits or fatty deposits na tinatawag nating atheromas. So, yung plaque na yun or yung atheromas na yun is nagpo-protrude siya sa may lumen ng blood vessels which is nagko-cause siya, 'di ba kapag merong plaques dun sa may blood vessels natin. So, kunwari yan. So, syempre kapag may naka-block na plaques or mga scarring or fatty deposits doon, magkakaroon ng narrowing ng blood vessels. And dahil nga nagkaroon ng narrowing sa blood vessel, so syempre yung blood flow is makokompromise. So, magiging obstructed or magkakaroon ng obstruction sa may blood flow natin. So, yung plaque ngayon is it's either stable or unstable depending sa degree or yung degree of the inflammation and yung thickness ng fibrous cup. So, if the fibrous cup, if over plaque, which is makapal, so yung lipid is magiging stable. So, bakit nga ba nagiging stable siya? Kasi nga nagiging resistant siya sa may stress or yung nagkakaroon siya ng it can resist the stress of the blood flow and vessel movement. So, kapag yung fibrous cup naman is manipis siya, yun yung tinatawag nating unstable which is nagiging vulnerable plaque po siya. So, yung lipid core natin is nag-grow siya and nagkakos siya ng fibrous cup, ng fibrous rupture. So, kapag nagkaroon na ng rupture, so, syempre, ma-attract ng plaques yung mga platelets and magkakos siya ng platelet aggregation into thrombus formation. And then yung thrombus formation is magkakos siya ng obstruction sa blood flow kasi nga 'di ba nagkaroon ng concealed blood doon sa may blood vessel so hindi na nakakadaloy ng maayos yung blood natin. So yung pagkakaroon na yun is magli-lead siya into atherosclerosis which is a hallmark ng angina pectoris. So, kapag nagkaroon ng atherosclerosis, pwede siyang mag-further into the coronary artery disorder or syndrome or the acute coronary syndrome po. So, ang ating mga signs and symptoms here is magkakaroon siya ng chest pain, headache, fatigue, and also magkakaroon ng difficulty of breathing. Tapos, yung BP magkakaroon ng elevation since nga nagkakaroon ng vasoconstriction. So, syempre magkakaroon ng mataas na pressure. And then, yung ating mga health teaching here is tulad pa rin ng angina pectoris, so yung dress natin. So, D is for diet. So, syempre, iwasan na natin yung mga diet na mataas sa fat and salty para hindi na mag-increase ng BP and yung vasoconstriction. So, R, i-reduce natin yung mga stimulants na makakapag-trigger palalo sa pagkakaroon ng atherosclerosis such as the tea, the caffeine or alcohol. And then, natin is mag-exercise po daily pero hindi naman yung vigorous or yung super active, moderate lang. And then yung yung S natin is a sexual restriction ulit. So syempre kapag nararanasan mo na yung pagkakaroon ng narrowing of your blood vessel or nagkakaroon ka na ng mga chest pain. So syempre kailangan mo pa bang makipag-ganon? So ayun. Tapos yung S natin is smoking cessation. So syempre yung smoking is pwedeng makapag-cause ng vasoconstriction which may further lead to atherosclerosis po. Thank you po. Ay, actually, yung sa ano pala, sa diagnostic test natin, meron tayong CT scan para ma-check natin kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa loob ng katawan and then yung brachial test natin. So, para lang siyang BP na iche-check natin yung mga blood pressure natin sa legs and arms. And then, chest x-ray kung iche-check natin if nagkaroon ba ng blockage dun sa may part ng blood vessel sa may chest. And also, ayun, yun lang po. And then, thank you po.